So this video comes off the back of a pretty long and stressful week at work, and it's at these times people often question, why am I doing this? Why am I giving up the free time in the evenings and not spending it with my friends and family? And to get me through these tough times, I often go back to my original motivations of why did I start to work in credit risk, and that's what I'm going to be sharing today, the 3 things that attracted me to working in credit risk. The first thing about credit risk that really attracts me is that no day is the same. Now I know 9 times out of 10 when you ask someone what do they enjoy about the job, you're going to get the same reply, but in risk I promise you no day will ever be the same. You see, whether you're working on something such as a live deal or looking at external market conditions, you always have to make sure that you're on top of your game and know everything about the topic. So my background's in politics, and how I ended up in credit risk, that's a whole nother video. But having that background means I'm naturally curious and always wanting to ask the why and what if questions. And better yet, the answers to those questions are always changing in credit risk. I love having to apply my skepticism to everything, regardless of who's telling me things are going to be okay. Because in credit risk, it doesn't necessarily matter on the seniority of where something is coming from. It's up to you to decide if something is safe or not safe within the risk thresholds. Lastly, on this point, I don't want people to think that risk is always about working when things are going bad. You see, when things are going good, you equally have to look at your risk appetite. When things are going well in the market, that's when you can evaluate your credit risk models to see if they need to be refined so that you can take on potentially more risk. And with potentially more risk comes the chances of potentially higher yields. The second thing that attracts me about credit risk are the people. And I'm not talking about specific people on my team, as people come and go. I wouldn't ever advise anyone to stay in a job just because they've developed great friendships there. But when it comes to credit risk and the people, I'm talking about the types of people that are attracted to credit risk. Because risk has to be thought of holistically, your colleagues will often come from a range of backgrounds, from economics graduates to psychology graduates, from consultants to accountants. Sure, everyone's got to grip with the quantitative analysis that's needed in credit risk, but there's a lot more to understand about risk than just the pure numbers. Working with people who think from different angles, viewpoints, and diversity makes for a very varied time at work, and you're always going to be learning, especially being surrounded by such a varied group of people. Portfolio managers, the people that manage a group of analysts who are looking at a specific industry or sector, they're well aware of this. And so when it comes to recruiting for the team, they're always going to be making sure that there's a good balance of people from different backgrounds. The third point about credit risk that's always attracted me is that the value of the job is very important. The job is always going to be needed. And in fact, when things are going bad in the market, where other sectors might be cutting back on recruitment, credit risk is going to be increasing in responsibility and scope. Credit risk is only going to attract those people that enjoy a high level of responsibility. Moreover, whilst other teams might be siloed from the rest of the organization, credit risk is always going to be at the center point for every major decision-making process. Whatever the stage of the company is or whatever the business it's involved in, credit risk is going to be a key part of the growth. Since evaluating credit risk is going to be the main way you're going to grow your business, everyone from the organization is going to try and work with you and understand what you do and obviously be on your side as much as possible. Now, of course, everyone's going to try the best to make you say yes to their deals that they're working on and accept the credit risk. But again, it comes to that second point, which I enjoyed, is that the responsibility and the professional skepticism you have has to always be applied regardless of who comes to you and tries to be your friend. Looking into the organizational structure and seeing where credit risk fits into everything, you can see immediately that credit risk is a well-respected line of business. Credit risk will often have its own independent line of command, all the way from the analyst to the CRO, the Chief Risk Officer, who reports directly to the CEO. This is to maintain the independence of their work and allow them to make their own decisions without undue influence from other people. This hopefully shows the importance and respect that the job has in every single organization. So those are the 3 points that get me through the tough times when I'm working in credit risk analysis. If you have others, then put them in the comment section below, and I'll see you all in the next video.